Against the baseline you're walking. It's a great exercise. Try it. Any standard will work. The metronome. This exercise is a result of many years of trying to teach people about jazz, time, and phrasing, and in general how to feel swing. And I've heard a lot of people try to impart this on their students and try to explain this, and it's very difficult. And the swing feel is really the result of eighth notes being played in triplet feel and variations on that. And the triplet, the eighth notes becoming the first and last triplet of three-note grouping. So you're splitting the triplet into two parts, and these are swing eighth notes, and they're felt through the triplet feel. And trying to explain that has been very, very difficult. So about 6 years ago, I developed an actual exercise that will is worth more than 1,000 words. Actually, it's basically taking the metronome and placing the metronome beats on the last triplet, the last eighth note of each triplet. So they become the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and The metronome is actually playing the us. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. At first it seems very simple until you try playing it. Now, with that being the last eighth note of the triplet, I'm going to be playing a walking bass line against the blues. You can use any type of song form you want. I suggest starting with the blues because it's a very common song form that most all improvisers understand and hopefully know pretty thoroughly. So we'll start with the blues. I'm just going to walk in F blues. With this metronome, I'm going to create a sense of swing feel by placing the metronome on the last eighth note of the triplet. And this forces me to internalize the feel of the triplet throughout the whole blues form. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, once you've really gotten the feel of this exercise, you can move the metronome marking up. You can move it to a lower metronome marking, which is sometimes even more difficult. As you move with any metronome exercise, you want to practice it in all regions, from very slow to medium, moderate tempo to up tempos. And this is. find is working with the metronome is just as important as playing in tune. Being able to play with the metronome nowadays is even more so important, I think, than ever, because so much of our music is sequenced, and so much music we are required to play with is already pre-recorded music, and we are required to play with the click with almost mechanical precision, because people are so used to hearing it in this generation because of how much music has been generated through computers. So, not being able to play with the metronome is almost a detriment now, and also having perfect meter is like developing perfect pitch. Some people are born with absolute perfect pitch and can tell you exactly what tone that is played. When I play this, they will know that it's exactly a C, middle C. Now, I think that meter is, to some extent, very close to pitch, in that they can be developed, and the sense of time can be developed through awareness and through working with the metronome. That's why it's very important to work out with the metronome. It develops your internal sense of time, your internal time clock. So if you have a metronome, and if I was to turn it on, spin it around, so I don't know what it is, you would know it's close to 200, which it is 204. You wouldn't be able to know that in the center of time, you can find where 120 is anytime. Your heart beats at about 120. When you're resting, it beats at about 60. These sixes are not by accident. Everything is, our time system is built around sixes. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. Everything's divided by 6 until we have metric time, which would be 20 hours in a day, 100 seconds in a minute, 100 minutes in an hour. Until that happens, which I doubt was going to happen. It was suggested in 1750, and no one ever really reacted to it. But everything is divided by 6s. So our sense of time comes from how many beats per minute. So it's divided by 6. So you get, like, when you have 120 on a metronome, you're at 120 beats per second. This is where most dance music is recorded. You will find, if you walk past any disco or any dance club at night, you're going to hear this in the bass drum pounding away in 120. It's easy to find 60 or 120 if you just look at your watch. A second is 60. So a second double would be 120. So have some fun with it, fool around, and try to actually, guess the exact tempo of songs before you count them off, and then have a metronome and just check it. Check how close you are to the exact time. That's part of the metronome's history also, is that no one could agree upon tempos for many of the pieces written back in the Renaissance period, and eventually the metronome was developed to put that to rest, and after that they started to mark music with actual BPS, beats per second, beats per minute, BPM. And there was actual agreement upon people about compositions and what tempo they would be played. So that's how the metronome, that's the origin of it. That's how it got its start. And today it is just as valuable, if not more valuable, than it ever was in developing your skill as a player.